Alright, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use loops in Eclipse. Now, loops are pretty important. They help you sort of solve a variety of questions, especially ones when you need it to run by multiple conditions. Alright, so now I'm just going to head in. I'll make a new class really quick. Just title it loops. 1 second. Okay, it's all ready to go. Now, there are three kinds of loops primarily. There's a double for loop, and there's an else if loop. And the loop that I'm going to be showing you guys right now is the for loop. Alright. So the way you have to do this is you have to type in for first, in lowercase, and after you type that in, you have to open parentheses. 1 second, I mistyped. Okay, and then now what you have to do is you need to make a variable, and you also have to give the variable a type. So for this question, I'm just going to say, let's call a an integer, and you also have to set a value for a. And I'm just going to say it's equal to 0. So this is your starting condition, right? Now you're going to have to put semicolons, and the next thing you're going to have to do is you have to put the term that's your condition. So when a is less than 3, then a semicolon again, and you're going to have to a plus plus. So basically what this is saying, it's when integer a is equal to 0, when a is less than 3, a plus plus. So now what you have here is it just added 1, and then you have to do the open curly brackets, and then you type in a function, so system out print line a, and then it's going to print out your value, and it's going to go back in the loop again. So it's going to print out 1 this time, and then it's going to go back. Now a equals 1 and a is less than 3, and it keeps on doing this. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the next one. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's called the for loop, which is a double for loop, and it's the same sort of thing. So it's integer b equals 0, b is less than 1, you do b plus plus, open bracket, and then now what you have to do is you have to make another for loop, and this is your second term, so second case. So after it runs through the first one, it'll go down to the second one. So call in c equals 0, c is less than 2, c plus plus, and then you have your ending result, so which is going to print out c. So what this is going to do is when in the first part, since b is less than 1, it'll add 1, so now it's b equals 1, and now you have c equals 0, and it's going to do that, and it's going to print out 1, 2 basically. And now the interesting thing for these loops is when c is equal to 2, it's going to run it through one final time. So even though it's not less than 2, on the final situation, it'll still go through one more time, and then this is going to print out a c. So yeah, so even though for the first one, it's going to be 1 after the first run, it's going to run it through one last time. So now the last loop we're going to talk about is the if loop. And the if loop is also, it's pretty useful. Formats, you have to say if, and then if open parentheses, and that's your condition. So if, let's say b is less than 3, because we had defined b earlier, and then what you're going to do is you have to have open brackets, and you're going to have your condition, or you're going to have your result, which is going to say system out print line. And remember guys, for system out print line, you always need capital S in the system, otherwise it's not going to work. So system out print line, and then let's say it's going to print out 2. So, and then close print, and then you need semicolon. Now the interesting about if loop is you can have so many conditions, because you can always do else ifs after if. You can have as many else ifs as you want. And now we're going to do else if c is less than 3, system out print line, let's say 3, right? And you can keep having else ifs so that your condition will run through every single possible scenario. So the if loop is pretty useful when you have to have your program go through multiple conditions. It has to bypass multiple requirements, and then the way you end it is you have to say else, and then then your closing condition. And for this, what it means is that if whatever you plug in doesn't apply to any of the ifs or else ifs, it just goes immediately to the end, and it'll do the last function, and that will end your code. Now, these are the 3 main kinds of loops you guys will be using in Eclipse primarily. I hope this video helped you guys a lot. If you have any questions, please let me know. And just remember, you will primarily want to use loops if you're solving like a multiple condition question. But yeah, alright, good luck everybody. I hope this works out for you guys. Thank you. Yo, Nick, how'd I end an audio recording?
Click on quick time and you should see a stop button.
Okay.